Yeah, halftime report, Alabama, Texas A&M. Oh, look at my dogs. Look what they did today. No dogs, right? Yeah. Bama back on the struggle bus, though, versus Texas A&M. Uh, they got Jalen Milroe playing. He's not playing. He's playing okay. He's making a ton of mistakes. All he's doing really is he's just escaping pressure. He's not a good passer. He's not a good passer. And I'll tell you right now, Alabama fans, you trot out Jalen Milroe versus Tennessee next week in Neyland Stadium. I promise you, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Tennessee's defense has actually been really great against the run this year. And they got some athletes on defense. Those are the two things they got. And they got great passers as well. Athletes, great passers, great run defense. Now is this something where it's like Bama's not going to score if they have Jalen Milroe? No, but they won't score a lot. I'll say that right now. I'm just saying it. But even the even bigger thing is that Tennessee's probably going to score in the 30s against y'all next week. You're probably not going to score more than 20 with Jalen Milroe. And if you get in the 20s, you're probably not getting in the 30s. So Tennessee is honestly they're going to win. I think they will. Now, I said I promise, and you probably took that as Bama has no chance. And it's not that they don't have no chance, but Tennessee is just... With Jalen Milroe as your quarterback, Tennessee's just better than you. With Bryce Young as your quarterback, you're probably better than Tennessee. And even with Bryce Young as your quarterback, Tennessee could still upset you. If Bryce Young's your quarterback next week, I'll pick y'all to win. If it's Jalen Milroe, I'm picking Tennessee. That's what I'm doing. Because my God, they dismantled LSU today, and I really thought LSU had a really great chance to get an upset that game at Death Valley. Tennessee. It's probably. I was thinking, maybe it's the best team Tennessee's played all year. Maybe with LSU getting better since the FSU game. Getting woke up from Auburn. Maybe. But nope. No. How about Texas, Oklahoma today? My God. Oh, jeez. Brent Venables is lucky that he's a first-year head coach, because any Oklahoma coach in this third or fourth year who's 3-3 with a 49-point loss to Texas, they'd be out the door. But hey, it's a first-year coach. They got to give Brent Venables time, though. Like, dead serious. My biggest concern is how their defense has honestly gotten worse from last year, which I didn't think was possible going from Lincoln Riley to Brent Venables. That's my biggest concern here. Oklahoma's, they did like the blitz a lot under Lincoln Riley because they had to play aggressive because their defense was terrible, but they did have athletes, so they did a lot of that. Brent Venables at Clemson, let's just be honest, he was a safe guy on defense. He liked zone coverage. He liked dropping the linebackers back into pass coverage. He liked getting stout defensive linemen who were great pass rushers, 3-4 guys rushing. He blitz occasionally, but he liked getting great pass rushers on the defensive line, where some teams focus on run stoppers like Georgia. And he just liked getting pass rush that way. Kirby's a great defensive mind too. He likes his linebackers being great pass rushers. And he likes his defensive line being great run stoppers. That's just the nature, Saban likes a mix of both. Although he doesn't blitz a lot at all, but he still likes his linebackers being able to blitz, So it's just different defensive schemes, But, even then, though, Brent Venables has got to get something together. Oklahoma. As it goes for Texas A&M, Haynes King is single-handedly keeping Alabama in this game, and there's nothing else you can say. Texas A&M's actually running the ball pretty good against Alabama, with a non-existent scheme. They're running it well against Alabama. A-Chain's he might honestly, I think he's the best running back in the SEC. One of the best in the country, in my opinion. I know you're gonna say Tank Bigsby. No, I think he's better. I'm dead serious. And honestly, I think he was better than Isaiah Spiller last year as well, even in his last year form. But point is, the pass rush for Alabama is just absorbing Haynes King because he can't get rid of the football. The pass protection for A&M, while it's not great, it hasn't been terrible. Haynes King just can't get rid of the football. Texas A&M's wide receivers have struggled to get open. Although they did get that one big jump ball that set him up for a touchdown. That was a crazy touchdown right there. When it got body through it, That was, Texas A&M themselves is getting a ton of pass rush. Now, how many times have they got him on the ground? Decent amounts. But compared to the amount of times they got back there, you'd like to see him get him on the ground a little more. They're having trouble containing Milroe. Other than that, their DBs are playing really well for the amount of injuries they have back there. They're playing really well. Their run defense in terms of stopping Jahmyr Gibbs, he had outside of those two big runs he had, Jahmyr Gibbs has not done that much this game. Let's just be real here. They're doing a good job. They're winning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They're making big plays. They're forcing 3 turnovers, which you need that against a team when you're the underdogs. Texas A&M, I don't know why this game was 24 points of a spread in the first place. It was way too big. And Alabama, you better hope and I'm about the end of it. Oh, I'm talking about the Georgia game. Finally, a run game. Run game looking like the old days. Thank God, man, because I was like, and gap scheme is working, gap control, controlling the gaps in the O-line. That scheme change from zone blocking is doing a lot. Doing great things for us. Our O-line is a little bigger than it was last year. Last year was a little smaller, a little shiftier and smarter, though, so we ran zone blocking. This year's a little bigger, so we're doing gap control, and it's working. It's working to perfection. We did great in the Missouri game in the second half when we were running it, and we did amazing today versus Auburn. Hopefully we run this scheme for the rest of the year. Branson Robinson got some carries today, which is great. The defense, DBs the Georgia pass coach put the Auburn receivers and passing game on lockdown, which allowed us to get pressure over and over again because he couldn't find anybody in the pass rush finally get there. It was an amazing defensive scheme by Kirby, amazing defensive game plan by him, and it was amazing performance and execution by the defense. They got nothing in the passing game today outside that 162-yard pass in garbage time. Stopping Robbie Ashford didn't do a bad job. His ground game. We did amazing against him in the past. Didn't do a bad job against him running. We didn't. We did a really good job against that as well. I know we got that big run at the end of the half, but we did a really good job today. So I'm happy. What else is happening? Kansas lost. That's sad. Yeah, but Alabama better hope and pray Bryce Young returns next week, or they will lose to Tennessee. I promise they will. Tennessee is a better team with Jalen Miller starting quarterback. And Tennessee kind of needs to beat Alabama or Georgia. They have to beat somebody. And definitely be nice. And Tennessee, it's possible they could go 11-1 in the SEC East with one loss to Georgia or Alabama. They better not lose to anybody else because they're not beating. I doubt they beat both Georgia and Alabama. It's possible to go 11-1 in the SEC East and make the playoffs. That's possible. That's possible. Honestly, the SEC East is decently strong this year. And I know Alabama did it one year. Ohio State did it another year. Notre Dame lost its conference championship and made the playoffs. So who says Tennessee can't do that? It's possible. Let's just be real here. So, yeah, crazy games. Last time I checked, FSU was beating NC State 14-3. Don't know what that score is now. Georgia Tech and Nebraska on 2-game winning streaks with interim head coaches. They might want to keep those guys. Mickey Joseph and Brent was Keys or something, I think, for Georgia Tech. Yeah, you might want to keep those guys, especially Georgia Tech. I mean, good Lord. But Nebraska as well. None of y'all are getting Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's not, he doesn't want to build programs. He just wants to take over the best ones and win national titles. He's not trying to build programs in Nebraska, Georgia Tech, so he's not coming there. About Stetson's performance, he played a lot better in the second half. I'll give him that. You know, I'm just glad we finally got our run game, man. Pass protection